Okay, I guess it's time to get started here. First of all, thank you to everybody for joining the webinar here. We have part one. We're going to do two parts to this. We're going to do a publisher 3D introduction, and then in a couple weeks we're going to do a Pages 3D introduction. We kept them separate because they're two different products doing two different activities. So how this will work is through the web there, you should have a webinar link. You should be able to see the presentation at this point. If you're having trouble with that, put questions in there in the question box. And that's another thing. The question box is there for you to ask any question that you have along the way. What we'll probably do is at the end of the presentation, I'll review some of the questions and answer any of them that make sense to answer at this point. And if not, I'll get back with you offline and answer those questions directly. So I guess it's we'll get started here. Okay, Quadraspace is about taking 3D, your SolidWorks files, your Pro E files, Inventor, what have you, and generating illustrations, animations, and documents from those. Today's product is Publisher 3D, so we'll be really focused on illustrations and animations today. How this is done is the 3D information is input into our product, Publisher 3D, and it is used directly, and that is able to be leveraged without a CAD seat in allowing an author to generate illustrations complete with balloons and callouts and animations. There are a lot of different uses through the manufacturing area for this type of activity, starting with technical illustrations, different marketing images, animations, graphics for your service and support, graphics for engineering activities such as patents or other engineering design side things. As far as the difference goes, Quadraspace is an affordable off-the-shelf software. It's very easy to install and use. It's you'll see as we go through the demo here in just a second that it has a ribbon interface, so it's very familiar to many people at this time. And it includes all of the capabilities that you would need in order to create illustrations and animations. That means that by importing your 3D model directly, you can rapidly generate a set of illustrations or a storyboard of an animation and then publish that. And this product includes multi-publishing capabilities, so you're going to be able to take that same set of images and publish those as not only images but as the animations. And then I can show you a couple other things like how to publish those to Word from this product or to that interactive 3D PDF. So here's the basics of the product we're going to cover today, and then we'll jump straight into a demonstration of this product. And like I said, the whole goal of using this product is to create and capture views of your 3D model. Then you can add markups and balloons to each of those views. And then each of those views, which we call illustrations, those are organized into a storyboard. And the storyboard has a couple of uses. One is just organizing a set of illustrations that you're going to publish or grouping them. And the second is to create an animation or a timeline for that animation. And you will go through both of those activities of using the storyboard. The product also includes a wide assortment of 3D tools, starting with exploded views and balloons, render styles, material editing, sectioning, all kinds of tools that you're going to need in order to result in your final documents and your final images and illustrations. And like I mentioned earlier, it's not just for one activity. You can you can publish to different outputs from this product. So you can do all your illustration creation. All the work that you put into that can be leveraged in multiple ways in different outputs. And the product is very affordable. The standard edition of our product starts at $6.99, so it's very easy to get up and running, not only from an ease of use standpoint, but from a affordability standpoint as well. So I'm going to, at this point, I'm going to bring up the application here, and then we'll go through it. Okay, what you should see now is the start screen, or the quick start splash area for the Publisher 3D product. The computer's popping up some things here. The Windows is trying to update everything. Okay, here we go. The first thing that you will do with Publisher 3D is you will import your 3D model. So let's go ahead and import a model. And we have a SolidWorks design we're going to work with today. And I believe it is this one. And there are multiple different file formats that you can bring in, starting with SolidWorks, Inventor, Pro-E, IGES, Step, OBJ. There's a list of those that I can provide for you too that has the complete listing. But there should be a format that will bring in yours, if not directly, then through a simple interchange. Okay, so let's hit open. And what this will do is bring in the solid assembly. I don't have SolidWorks on my computer, so it'll bring it in without having to have a CAD seat on the computer that you are working with. And we now have a view of our 3D model in the product here. And before I get really going into this, I want to just kind of discuss how the product is organized. It starts with an Illustrate ribbon. The Illustrate ribbon is where you'll spend a lot of time working, because really your goal is to create illustrations from this area here and then organize them with the storyboard here. The 3D view ribbon allows you to set the style of the scene. So for example, I can pick a shaded with edges look. I can change my background, and I can set all the different properties of how the 3D scene is rendered. We can also save those off into your own library of name styles, or you can save them to one of these quick 1, 2, 3 buttons, which will make it very easy to get a consistent look and feel throughout all your documentation when you always want to use one of the 3 preset setup render styles. The next ribbon is a material editing ribbon. This allows you to edit the materials in the model. Under the applied button here, this shows me all the materials that were imported with this model. And then there's a stock library that comes with these. So you have all kinds of different paints and plastics, rubbers, metals, all kinds of things that can be applied by simply picking paint, picking a style like this blue, and then you can just use the apply button to click that and apply that to your model. So let's do just a quick plastic here of some kind. Let's make a kind of a black base that looks like that, and then you can just apply that to your scene there. You can also fully edit any of the materials. So if you don't like the way that looks, then you can tweak that out to your own style with different bump maps or textures or what have you there. I actually don't really like that black that I applied, so I'm just going to do an undo. Model. The model ribbon allows you to create exploded views and to work with parts lists, both of which we'll do during the demo today. And then the configuration ribbon here is an advanced but very important ribbon. We'll talk about this a little bit, but this is going to be in our advanced topics webinar that will be in the future. But what a configuration allows you to do is to create subsets of your model and manage large models by creating, I'll say the circuit board, for example, is something you wanted to create a configuration from. And then when you're working with that, you're only working with the circuit board and you're not distracted by all the other components during that process of your illustration creation.